and make more money of it. The key to all this is what? It's the technology. That people will come in with the right technology, but we have the resources here. So if that is our potential, I will see that that particular sector of the bioeconomy will move. We have guests that has come in, not just from China or Korea or Japan, but even from Western countries now, because they are looking at biomass and they have the ready technology that they will bring along with them and help us to develop biomass. So that would be the direction it takes. If that is the case, again, it will bring along with it the services provider, because they need to come to basically do setups, business setups here, and we will encourage them to come and basically build a very important service sector just for bioeconomy. You talk about healthcare. It's not just about hospitals, but even in medical services, we are coming up with more private hospitals. Government hospitals, we are catching up with KL to make sure that they provide us with bigger general hospitals, and they do, and cancer center and so on. But what is interesting over the last 2 years is the fact that private hospitals are coming up. With Gleneagles, with what is existing as KPJ Hospital, or even now the Jesuitan Specialist Center coming up in Metro, are people taking the initiative that here you can provide good medical services for a good market. And why not? Because Sabah sits in the region of Biak of 60 million people. If the Indonesians can go to Singapore for medical care, they can come closer to home to come to Sabah. The only thing that I'm probably looking at is not so much of how many hospitals that we have. We are looking at services provider. I'm looking at doctors and nurses. We have the hospitals, you have all the equipment, but please, this is the services sector that we can bring in specialists, people that will be here for the treatment. They need people, they need doctors. And why not come to Sabah? Because after whatever you need to be treated, you can actually stay in Sabah to recover. Because there are so many places that you probably want to take a rest, whether it's in the island or right at the top of the mountain. But there, again, is the potential that we have as we move forward. And I think seriously in terms of looking at the development of bioeconomy in Sabah. Why? Because it brings along with it the whole chain of service provider. I do not need to talk about IT. I don't need, because it is all in, cutting across board. Because for whatever business that you do, IT in some way is related. We need to catch up on that as well because of IT infrastructure that we need to put up. And I can see that a lot of insurance people, people even doing retail, people who are providing what you call these tourism services, you know where they operate? They operate from Starbucks. Because Starbucks provide free Wi-Fi. I have a friend of mine, he operates from Starbucks every morning. And if you go and see him now, he's always there. He's a regular. And he started at 9 o'clock. And he never stopped working until night time. And he only said, I have to have 1 cup of coffee in the morning and another cup of coffee from Starbucks in the afternoon. And he has his clients seeing him in Starbucks. Well, that's another model for you if you want to work from Starbucks. for coffee beans. But this is what it is, because the opportunities are there. If the opportunities are there, it doesn't really matter whether you have an office or not. It's how you would link and how you would see how the business sector will grow. So when I look at all the activities that we can generate, what is more important for me is moving forward. Where do we go? And all I can say is that we have that potential. We have that potential basically to grow and deliver much better results. For bioeconomy, looking at the vast aquatic and terrestrial biodiversity that we have, if we know only what we need to do, you know that there's a lot of opportunities for us to grow. I'm thankful to MIDA and also to MIDA because of their concern in helping me, in helping Sabah, to develop some of these activities that I talk about. And if we could only be focused in terms of what incentives or help that is already available, how we would tap on to those, then I think in many, many ways, it will help us in making sure that whatever I talk about, it will come to life. And this is what we need to do, because we live in quite a competitive world. If we are not racking in the investment and there are many other places that will even do better than us. But I would always take as a benchmark that as far as Sabah is concerned, we can do better and we can contribute more to national growth. I do not know what the figures will come up for last year, but I know consistently we are able to get 3 or 4 billion of investment, and occasionally we will be able to get a big jump depending on how big players would have come in to set up a big operation. But what it needs to do is the cluster that we have of the SMEs. I have a brief word with my SUT, Dr. Hashim, just now, to say that even though we have investors coming in, creating 8,000 jobs opportunities, but the taking up rate is very low, we are still wondering why? Because we are not having employment problem. We are having too many jobs. But what is important, I need to look into, is that people doesn't want to be employed maybe. They want to employ. They want to be their own bosses. They want to set up businesses. The entrepreneurs' growth is growing up very fast. And you see young people, probably a lot of you sitting there, looking about creating businesses of their own, about taking up those opportunities that I mentioned. And I think probably we don't look at so much of employment or unemployment figures, but we look at probably the growth of the entrepreneurs. I am all in for the development of the SMEs in Sabah. And we do take it seriously, because SME contribution to national growth is huge. If you're talking about 3.7% to national growth from SME, we need to push that over to 4.2 to 4.5% of national growth from the SME. And I think it could even go further. The fact that people today find that they are their own bosses. The fact that people today don't look to be employed. The fact that people today doesn't need offices, they can even operate from Starbucks. Now, if you are looking at what we are doing going forward, I think that there is this change of how we would need to focus our attention. And here again, with all the opportunities that will be highlighted, and many part of it, it will give good ideas and good opportunities to a lot of SMEs. lately, we are even looking at the development of the technology commercialization platform. We look at bioeconomy, we look at technology, but a lot of technology, how do we take it to a commercial level? And we need to address that. Because from technology, from innovation, as we have been pushing for more creation and innovation, there's a lot of people in some way can get themselves connected, but they need to know how that can be marketed. So all these are in hand, and I'm trying to put all the pieces together for only one reason: the fact that Sabah have that potential to grow. My appreciation once again to MIDA and Dr. Gila for coming all this way. I hope you can stay longer and basically visit the resorts and things and what they provide over there. You are doing better than me because I've not finished visiting all the hotels yet. Not the one going to Gaya Island. Now there are many other places that have huge potentials, and we have people coming in looking at all these places. But like I say, Sabah is not just manufacturing. Sabah is not just tourism. Sabah have much more to offer. So I do not know that how long this seminar will go on, but please keep these people busy because they are here with something to deliver. And that something that they will basically deliver will make that difference. It will help you in terms of how you would plan. Whether it's a business setup you want to do, or whether you will contribute in many ways to the businesses that you already